So with Shiki's first true opponent, I should say, for the start of this series with Eden Zero, as we face off against the cyborg ninja known as Jet, will he actually be able to, you know, hold a candle and actually be something memorable to compare to some of the other Mashima series that we've seen before? Only time will tell, and hopefully a couple more chapters down this road. But it seems like with this arc that we're going to be getting is that with one side of it being heavily focused on the Rebecca stuff, with the fact of the matter that she's being like full on just kidnapped right moment with a bunch of other B-cubers, and as well with like Shiki side trying to get her back, with a couple more people getting involved, like some more mysterious characters. So let's jump into it, because there's a few things to go, and as this basically concludes the round one between Jet and Shiki, which pretty much ends up in a stalemate as the two of them fighting down each other, like going down the streets. Like we meet you, like which again, Lavila is like there just recording all of this stuff, and like, god damn it, and like, you know, Pino's there trying, she's like, look, you need to be careful and all that, like we don't know what the enemy's strength is right now, and Shiki's going in like blasting it, and the two like for the most part are actually like exchanging blows and everything and all that. Like we know that like the only thing that like like when Jet is like going to be attacking everything is that he does the hand symbols, he does like the mutos and everything like that. Like when he goes around, he's like, the problem is though is that they're fighting in such a public environment right now where this is at a disadvantage to Shiki, where he's like, I need to actually be careful with people who go around trucks and everything, like we're smashing around. There was some like cool little parkour stuff that was going around, like when he was like calling out his gravity aether gear, like he kind of was like dealing with it, and like Shiki was like using everything to his advantage. He was jumping off of taxis, he was spinning on poles and everything, like he was doing a bunch of crazy shit like going across there on here, and it was like, whoa, I need to hang on this taxi right now. And then immediately we see that he's able to do other stuff with his hands, and like even having a base ability of controlling a wind, where he's like calling it a sky mech ninjutsu attack, and he was like, wait, what? And then he does a Rapuzan, which just makes a massive cross slash going on there, where like Shiki's like, oh shit, no, that's awesome, and like he's doing this, and he's like, oh, I need to actually like help people right now. And then he goes like and changes it on his end, where he's like, I need to do a Magi mech like a version, where he like uses like something known as a Jushin, which is like a gravity center, where he's like, he uses it to just basically pin all these trucks and everything down to the ground. He's like, oh, I use this right now, I've saved them, they're all okay, like I saved this kid and everything. Is like, ooh, like we finally able to control everything on there. And it's just like, yeah, like, and Jet is like really confused about this, where it's like, wait, you're getting like, I don't understand why you're saying these bystanders are all and all that, you know, you stopped in mid battle about that. And he's like, no, and all that, everything and all that like isn't right yet, because you know I need to do this to sister and everything. And like still no real ideas on his motives yet, whereas like he's immediately getting contacted like in mid battle, where it's like, no, I haven't got the target yet, like what's going on? And he was like, alright, you need to come back to base now, like that. And it's like, yeah. And he's like, you're gonna be spared for now on there, but it's like, remember my name is Jin. So kind of remember that a little bit on there, where it's like, I've heard like two translations of his name, and it's like Jet or Jin, and so far and all that, for the most part I'm gonna go with Jin, like on there, with two N's weirdly enough and all that. But immediately when I saw this character, I was like, oh shit, we could have like, it was a combination of like when I first saw him, as like it reminded me a little bit of like Let's Dragon form, if you remember that, since he had like his human form, and then he had his like transform like with the bandana and everything. That was I was kind of getting a little bit reminded of on that. I was like, oh, I hope he's kind of like that, because I really liked Let and Julia, I believe was the two characters' name from the Dragon Tribe and Rave Master, and I was like, I really liked those characters in that series. Like there was a lot of memorable cast of characters from there, and it's like, I want someone like at least to be on there. And it's like, he like compared to like what we've seen so far, like again, like, which also as well to bring us some news, is that we've got a showing right now of Volume 2, and I will say that Volume 2 is a little bit more messy with all the characters. Like, it's got Rebecca, it's got Pino, it's got Elsie, it's got Shiki, it's got the no-name fucking villain from, like, like what we just dealt with. Like, it is quite a messy volume with, like, how many things, like, people and things are on it for the most part. I do like the white colours that they're going with for, like, Eden Zero, and I am looking forward to picking them up, but a little messy, and I hope it just isn't the same for, like, when we finally get a colour probably with this guy on it and Shiki, like, kind of clashing, and immediately he's able to like kind of like run away for the most part and kind of return with a bunch of his people. However, though, things aren't good when they go back to Starlight, when immediately they get told, it's like, Rebecca hasn't come back yet, like, she went to see the Guildmaster and, like, something just went wrong. Then we find out that, like, oh, Happy comes back and he's fucked up. He's missing an arm, like, half his brain, like, is showing out, like, a part of his chassis, and it's like, what the hell happened to him? And it's just like, next thing, Rebecca and the Guildmaster were taken away and all that when they went to that. It's like this weirdo just attacked them, and it's like immediately they go breaking news and all that. There being multiple people being kidnapped in Blue Garden and everything. Like, you need to be careful. Like, if you're part of the video, like making stuff like that, if you're a BQ, like we're authorizing, like, police and all that rundown. And even like you get to see like Lavila gets like kind of shocked about hearing about this when she's like looking down, all that. They're all being taken to then to go Guilst and all that. I was like, so yeah, she was immediately realizing, like, oh, that could have been me, if anything. But then we see a character that immediately shows up, and it's like this very like really just like no kept hair, or like it's all over the place. This like girl in this like autumn yukata, like just coming out there, who just mentions like the Eden Zero. So someone that clearly has like at least ties, or at least knows about them, and it's like kind of leads a little bit over. I'm not gonna lie, she looked kind of like, design wise, I thought she would look really interesting, all that, like this yukata and like all this hair. It looks like kind of like, if anything, if like Kagura was just like had it all just all over the place and all that. It's like an unkept like Kagura, and I was like, alright, so there's another character being played, a third party at least. So kind of curious what more their deal is, whether how they're going to get involved with Shiki and the gang, and more importantly, is like, why exactly do they know about Eden Zero for the most part? Like, or why exactly are they interested in it? And then we see our trio for this arc, where we see like with anything where Rebecca wakes up and she sees herself with all these B-cubers and this fish fucker, this weird fat bull. I don't even know what the fuck he is. Like some weird square-faced fat big titty guy, and I'm like, wow, I know I'm a fat dude, but you know, the guy's pushing it as well. Like, I mean, he's competing with me. I'm like, whew, Jesus Christ, it's like this weird smile. I don't even know. It generally looks like a fat guy and a Lego had sex. That's generally what I can tell from this guy. I'm like, what created you? Like, what weird amalgamation? And it's like, and that's not even getting with the weird fish dude as well, with the creepy like mustache and gills everywhere. And then it's just like, and then Jin's just there, is like, hey, so like, he's the only one that's like staying like really quiet, and he just goes Muscoy. Like, so I imagine that's either his name or he's just some weird little goofy shit he has with him. I'm like, alright then, I guess this is the trio that we're dealing with. So whether or not that's going to be like Shiki's going to be dealing with Jin, maybe that weird girl's going to be taking one of their own, like again, Weiss might get one of them, like, we don't know. Or maybe he might try and take all of them, because we don't know how much of the total jobbers these are, because we see the one guy like with has a gun and everything, and I'm like, oh, alright then, like he's packing heat and everything. And then we've just got this weird, and it pretty much just ends off with like, you know, like Rebecca kind of going like, oh shit, I know in the situation shit. However, we still like could mention as well, like, well, Rebecca could fight one of these, and that although she hasn't got Happy though, we have seen that she's still learning to kind of tamper with that ether gear at the moment, so still kind of getting a little bit used to that ability per se, on the most part. So that might be a way for her to actually break all the other beekeepers out. I don't think she's going to be a complete damsel in distress in this arc, at least I hope she isn't on that, because, you know, I think generally, like, you know, we've seen this before and all that with, like, kind of like Theradil, like, if anything, what we had with Lucy, where it was, like, she kind of fought back, and, like, even Ellie as well kind of defended herself for the most part, and, like, actually was, like, I'm not going to be that damsel, like, 24/7, so I hope that's not the case, because, again, like, there are certain characters where it's, like, if you're built to fight and everything, or at least you have something, like, your capability, don't just be a damsel. Like, if you're, like, someone that's, like, I'm a kid, I'm a child, or like I have never fought in my single life, I'm more fine with that. But it's like, no, don't like just do that immediately with like Rebecca. Although you're curious of that is like this weirdo creep guy that we saw from last chapter clearly has an interest in Rebecca and everyone else. So I'm curious to see what's going to be going down. More with them, and exactly our weird trio of villains. I mean, we got to see Shiki absolutely pissed right now, so yeah, he takes his friendship stuff real seriously. So yeah, you done fucked up, Jin and gang, so let's see what he's going to do with his weirdo group of hooligans that he has, like Fat Lego Guy, like Fish Sniper, and Jin. A weird combination on there, so what do you guys think? Comments down below. This was a weird chapter, more setting up some stuff. Overall, like, again, we saw a little capability that, like, Jin has wind capabilities, ninjutsu, you know, and also as well as able to release his fist and do weird attacks with them. So, overall, a weirdo for the most part, and it's like, I think this is going to be a little bit more of an interesting first battle than what the hell the other guy was from, like, the future, like, I mean, or from the past, really, we'll see and all that. Like, and also as well, we didn't see any Ys in this chapter as well, so kind of wondering where he's been up to at the moment. So, what do you guys think? Comments down below. But that's all from me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys though next time.